Hey, I'm Di McQueen, licensed clinical social worker, family and addiction expert. I'm here with Dr. Brian Jackson, my longtime cohort who specializes in the field of addiction. Welcome to Healing Families Shattered by Addiction.
Di and I have worked with addicts, alcoholics, and their families for over 30 years combined. Our podcast and coaching programs focus on families who have a loved one suffering from addiction. Our experience has been that this disease affects families as much, if not more, than the addict or alcoholic.
Is your world spinning out of control? Are you codependent? Are you experiencing worry, loss of sleep, and difficulty concentrating? If so, you're in the right place. Brian and I have both personally lived it, learned it, and now we're going to teach you tools and techniques on how to get your life back that you thought was shattered by addiction. When addiction feels overwhelming, the right support can change everything. Recovery Keys, located in Ponte Vedra Beach, offers accredited residential and outpatient treatment for substance use and co-occurring mental health conditions. Unlock the keys to your recovery today. Visit recoverykeys.org or call 904-551-1394.
Okay, let's dive in.
Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Brian Jackson. I'm here for Healing Families Shattered by Addiction. This is our biweekly podcast, and I'm here today to talk about something we've talked about before, but maybe with a little bit more detail and emphasis on different buzzwords and things that we can kind of break it down and make it easier for families to understand some things that they can do for themselves to help themselves and to also help their loved one who is in addiction. So addiction is a family disease because while one person may use substances, the entire household feels the impact. It's chaos, secrecy, broken trust, financial strain, emotional exhaustion, and constant uncertainty ripple through everyone connected to that person. So that in and of itself just sounds exhausting energy-wise. Families frequently find themselves living in a state of hypervigilance, where you're really hyped up, which is not great for your central nervous system because you're constantly on guard, always waiting for the next crisis, the next phone call, the next promise broken, or the next attempt at recovery. What many people do not realize is that addiction changes the family system itself. And different family members take on roles to kind of be able to cope. So some of these roles that emerge and we've talked about this before, I think, are the rescuer, the hero, the scapegoat, the lost child, the enabler. Everyone adapts just to survive. So one of the biggest buzz phrases in recovery is you didn't cause it, you cannot control it, and you can't cure it. Let me say that once again. You didn't cause it, you can't control it, and you can't cure it. So many family members that we work with blame themselves. And I think that's just normal human nature where we try and put a reason as to why this is happening. But again, you didn't cause it, you can't control it, and you can't cure it. So for loved ones, that statement can be liberating. Families often carry guilt, wondering, were we too strict? Were we too lenient? Were we too distracted, too emotional, or somehow responsible? But addiction is a complex biopsychosocial disease involving genetics, trauma, environment, mental health, and learned coping patterns. So families did not create it. Okay. One of the other key phrases that we like to use is boundaries over barriers. Okay, so boundaries over barriers. So boundaries are not punishments. So they're healthy limits that protect the well-being of the family while allowing the addicted person to face consequences. And it's important that they do face consequences and experience consequences because that could be the light bulb that goes off in their head to make some changes. A barrier says, I am shutting you out. A boundary says, I love you, but I won't finance self-destruction, tolerate abuse, or sacrifice my own stability. really, really important distinction to make, that you are not punishing the person, but setting boundaries to protect yourself and potentially create consequences. Say, for example, the addict is no longer receiving money from you to fuel their addiction. And a lot of families get trapped in codependency. So where life becomes organized around managing another person's addiction. So codependency can look like covering up lies, paying debts, calling employers, making excuses, checking phones, tracking locations, or trying to control every outcome. It often comes from love and fear, not weakness, but over time, it drains the family emotionally and can unintentionally shield the addicted person from accountability. If you think about the person and their addiction, their illness, whether it's a substance use disorder or an alcohol use disorder, they're powerless over that, until they try and make some changes. So if they're powerless over it, think about how powerless you are over that. And, knowing that you are powerless over it can hopefully, give you some insight as to why it is a waste of, your precious time, um, to to try and change something that you can't change on your own. So one of the healthiest shifts is moving from crisis management to value-based living. So again, another buzz phrase that can be helpful: crisis management to values-based living. Instead of asking what will keep them calm today, families ask what aligns with your values, safety, and long-term well-being. That mindset rather restores dignity to the whole situation. And hope is important, but hope with boundaries is healthier than hope without limits. And love is powerful, but love with accountability is stronger than love mixed with denial. So compassion matters, but compassion without self-sacrifice is sustainable. Again, compassion without self-sacrifice is sustainable. I'm saying these buzzwords a couple of times because I'm hoping that maybe it gives you some peace of mind and realize that you're not punishing this person, and maybe give you um, some guidelines as to what you should be doing, as opposed to trying to figure out what what you want to do. So if your loved one is struggling, know this: you're allowed to heal even if you are not ready. You're allowed to sleep, laugh, travel, set limits, and have peace. Your life does not need to remain hostage to another person's disease. And perhaps the most important phrase of all is that recovery is contagious. Recovery is contagious. When one person begins healing, others often follow. Sometimes the family gets well first, and the addict might look at that and go, "Wow, they're not reacting the way they used to." Sometimes that becomes an invitation for the addicted person's needs. Either way, healing can begin. And again, so this is a subject that we've touched on in various and different ways. But for today, I just wanted to share with you some very simple and straightforward buzzwords that you can apply to your life and your interaction with your loved one who has got an alcohol use disorder or a substance use disorder. And it's real important that you take care of yourself, because as we started out in the beginning, just the mental gymnastics that you do trying to keep up with this thing that you're powerless over is exhausting. So our wish for you is that you take care of yourself and realize that you do not need to stop loving the addict, but you need to detach from the roller coaster of attaching your happiness to whether or not the person gets help and gets well. So Di and I are available to discuss this with you, with your family. You can go on our website at familyandaddictionexperts.com and schedule a free consultation, and we can chat with you about that. Also on our website, we have a family survival kit, which has PDFs in there that you can print out. There's no charge for that. But in the interim, therapy with somebody local to you, or getting to an Al-Anon meeting or an R-Anon meeting, or any type of meeting that is supportive, you will realize that you're not terminally unique in this situation, and this is fairly widespread, and you might get some good ideas from other family members as what they're doing to keep their own sanity and normalcy in their lives. So that's all I have for today, but I wanted to share that with you. And I will be back with me, or we may have a special guest uh, in 2 weeks, and we will get that to you. In the meantime, stay safe, take care of yourself.
Thanks so much for joining our podcast, Healing Families Shattered by Addiction. We'll be back in a couple weeks with more important tools, techniques, and ways for you to focus on you instead of the alcoholic or addict in your world.
Until then, please go to our website, familyandaddictionexperts.com. That's familyandaddictionexperts.com. You'll also see links to our Facebook and Instagram pages. Please also, if you have any emails that you would like to send us, that's info@familyandaddictionexperts.com. That's info@familyandaddictionexperts.com. With any thoughts, feelings, questions that you may have for us, we would love to hear from you, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.
Unlock the keys to your recovery today. Visit recoverykeys.org or call 904-551-1394.